Hello. Welcome to Done by Dorothy. Today I'm Dorothy, and we are working on our Kindred Spirit journal along, and it's a planner journal combo. So if you haven't, tuned in, be sure to check out the playlist. It'll walk you step by step through every single thing that we've done to it. I did a few minor adjustments off camera, but most of it has been on camera. So we're gonna started today. This will finish up the journal planner part today. We still have our um, storage box and the ephemera box that's going to attach to it, or ephemera envelope box that's going to attach to it. We still have that part going that we have to do, and then we'll have our final flip through. So there should be 3 videos after this one, so we should be winding up right at the end of the month. And in the July, we're going to be starting with our purple paper passion kit, and it is available in my Etsy store. You can find those links in the description box below. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, go on and subscribe so you'll know. Hit the bell icon so you'll know when the latest videos are uploaded. Again, thanks for tuning in today. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what's going on. So, Kindred Spirits, Ingrid Gables inspired journal. We are putting one journal, although we actually have 2. We have another journal base that will be going into our storage system for when we move to that part. We will have ephemera in our box that we can use either in our planners to embellish them along the way, because as you go through, you may have like certain days that certain things are attractive to you. And then we will also have our other base journal that you can use that ephemera to decorate. So without further ado, let's get going. This is our journal part that's going to be going into our cover today. We're going to be binding it. And it's, got quite a bit a little loaded. I did not put tabs and that type of things because I am actually wanting to be able to store my journal in my storage, and I don't want them to continually get smashed. So that is why I chose to refrain from there. But if you're going to use it as a standalone journal, load it up, girls. Gentlemen, load it up. Tabs, lace, deck it out. Weekly planners that are going in there will actually cover 6 weeks. There is a weekly page, and this is again like a weekly highlight planner. This is just basic, like Monday I got to go to the doctor, I have to do this, I have to do that. Tuesday I have to do this. It's not broken down into daily detail. We're actually working on a full-blown planner that we will be releasing that will have all of that other stuff in it. Right now we're dealing with the weekly. So you have just the daily and a little sidebar for notes. There is a notes page, 2 coffee dyed pages that you can journal on, put notes on, decorate, whatever you want. Then there's another weekly page, and it continues on. And then in the center, you actually get 2 note pages side by side where you can cover just a basic highlight of what your month was like, is what I figured I would use mine for. That's just ideas. So yeah, and there is some gridded note papers as well as lined. So you get a variety. And again, we'll be putting 2 of these in this journal. So that will cover a 6-week time period. Plus our journal. So, I mean, it's already chunky and nothing. These aren't even decorated or anything stuffed in them, paper clipped in them or anything. So let me set these to the side and let's deal with our cover. So as you can see, if you've been following along, I had to do a few little additions. I put my large window in. There's one of the bookmarks and a tag in the back, another tag, one of the quote pages, the quote backgrounds, and I've just folded it into 3 and sort of made it like a little letter with one of the quotes about and. Back here, I've just created a basic pocket. These are just like the policy pockets that we did. It's just the base without the flap. 2 tags. I've put some book pages in there so I can use it throughout. And I've also included The Inspiring World of L.M. Montgomery, a literary tour. And it's a map. If you are wanting to access that, there is the link. And I honestly, it is amazing. If you go on this page, every one of these things you click, it will walk you through a step-by-step type thing and tell you all about it. It's excellent. So, and it's also in the French. So that is where you access that. But I really like the fact that it sort of had, you know, different things that went on and about Ellen Montgomery in there. Just a sort of a shout out to an author. So I have that popped in the pocket too. And I have some other stuff that I'll throw in there along the way, quote cards, that type of thing. I'm not done with Anna Green Gables. This is cute. And you guys have heard me rant about this from day one. I am a die-hard 1980s Anna Green Gables fan with Megan Follows, Jonathan Crumby. I am a die-hard fan, so I have to make a Anna Green Gables journal based around them with their pictures and things like that. The one thing with that is any of the ephemera that I use, I could put into a Pinterest board, link you to that Pinterest board, but you are responsible to go get them yourself because it's personal content only. It's not commercial use because it's not in public domain. Therefore, that's how we would have to do that. So that is something I will be exploring on my own. So stay tuned, you know, to watch that. And I will make sure that I link where I got all of my information from. So let's get started with this. So first thing in, I'm going to go ahead and do my holes for my ties. So let me grab my pencil. And I got this old bulky Westcott ruler. It's so old. Okay, so I'm just going to mark my center, which is going to be 4.5. Just real light, nothing really, really dark. And then I'm going to go in about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. So I'm going to line it up, which is going to put me right about, yeah, that's going to put me right about the edge of my paper there. Just make a little dark one. And then I can come through and erase that one in the front, and it goes right away, no problem. Okay, and then the same thing in the back. Again, 4.5. I'm going to put it closer up to the paper since I know that's about where my 1/4 inch is. Let me see how close. Ooh, and I was spot on, so my hole is going to go about right there. Now I'm going to be using my Crocodile Big Bite, just because that's what I have and that's what I'm using. I'm going to push it all the way back. Of course, you have 3 settings. I'm going all the way back to 3/16. That is the size of the eyelets that I'm using. So, you know, you need to base that depending on what size. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. I'm going to center my wonderful little mark right in the middle there. And punch. And I like to do this sort of assembly style. So I punch, and then do the front just because it keeps me from having to switch back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay, let me line this up. Oops, don't slide. Okay, then I'm going to slide this all the way forward. I have it set on my largest little notch there. These are a little bit longer eyelets than what I normally use because I wanted to make sure that they were long enough to get all the way through my chipboard. So they're not super long, but they're longer than the standards. And put my stuff out of the way. And I'm just going to push, 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 push. And I will usually lift it up and do it twice just to sort of make sure that I get it. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here and yes, you know, I'm going to repeat the same thing. So let me line this up on my little handy dandy little thing here. Okay. And turn it the way I'm supposed to. You guys, I think I just went brain dead and I can't remember which way I'm supposed to put this. Hold on, let me think. Okay, yes. Phew, what a day. And now I can't line it up to the hole. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of those days. Now I can't get it lined up. I got something in between there. Oh, my piece of paper was between there. And my lace is all underway. Okay. And I'm going to push. And I'm going to push. Okay. I did choose to do black because there's a lot of dark through here. You could do whatever color you want. That's just what color that I chose to do. Okay, so we have those done. Now we're going to move on to our spine. Now I can mark this on the inside. I'm actually going to mark it on the outside. I find it that I do best when I do that. Okay, so I have a 2-inch spine. I know I need to do 3. So for me, I know my planners are going in the back. They're not going to be near as large as my journal. So I'm trying to decide if I want to. Okay, I'm going to, let's see. First of all, let me mark down. Oh, you know. I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch down. Or a 1/4 inch. I'm sorry, a 1/4 inch down. So I'm going to sort of just keep an eye about where that is. It comes right along there on the lace. So I know where it's at now. So now I can line up. Let's see. Right here is where I need to be. And I'll line it up. So I'm going to mark at, let's see, at a 1/2 inch. Well, okay, well, I'm going backwards, but I'm actually going to move these around a little bit. I'm going to mark my first one at 3/8. My second one at 1 inch. And then 1 1/2. So there we go. So let me flip this back, and I'm going to do this whole end at one time, and then I'll flip to the next end. So I'm going to center it up to the best of my ability. Okay, then let me slide it to the next one, which is going to be at 1. And I'm going to sort of push it, an eyeball, try to put it to right in the dead center. Because if I can get it in the dead center, then, I know I've pretty much got everything lined up here. But that doesn't usually ever happen with these, but occasionally they come out looking okay. You never know. Okay, and then I'm going to go and make sure all the little things, and then I find, because it's hitting on the border of where this lace is, I'm going to go in and just sort of cut the little strings that it started through there. I'm on camera. It's like, oh no, am I on camera or not? Just because those little strings are just going to get in the way. So there we go. So I just cut them down just a little bit. Okay, so let's put this back over here. I'm going to go ahead and pop all of my grommets in. So once I get my journal under there, I can just leave it there and just boom, 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 boom down the road. Okay, and again, I'm going to move it all the way forward. it's set, everything's the same as the one earlier, so that makes it easier. So I'm going to line it up and push. I let mine come back up and push again. That's just probably me being, I don't know, goofy, I guess. And again, push. I let it up, back down, push it again. I think it's just, it makes me feel like it's more secure, I guess. And again, I'm going to push, lift it up, push again, pull it out, and now we shall see. Yeah, not too bad. This one could have been remember we had these sort of not centered completely because these two are going to be closer. That gives my journal a little bit more room. So that's why this one's a little bit closer than this one. I actually wanted it to be that way. And this is all going to be covered up with our ribbon and stuff anyway. So it's not going to make a difference. If you're one of those people and that would drive you crazy and you want them side by side completely even, have at it. Okay, and again, I'm going to figure out about where my quarter, okay, my quarter is going to fall right there. And again, I'm going to line it up. Line my 1 inch up and my 2 inch up. And again, I'm going at 3/4. Did I do 3/4 last time? No, I did 3/8. 1, 2. I did 3/8, I believe. And 1. I don't know. Hold on a second, guys. Let me double. Yes, I did 3/8. Yes. I thought that was right, but I always like to, it's better to stop and double check if you're not sure than if you question yourself about it. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3/8. 1, 2, and half, 1 and 1.5. Hold on, guys. I'm just double checking to make sure that I'm. And then 1.5. That's what I thought. We'll get it, guys. Give me a second. 1, 2. I want it right there. And 1, 2. Right there. Right there. And then at 1.5. Okay. And I know that looks weird sort of because it's offset off of there. And I know a lot of people don't like that. That's just, I wanted it that way because it'll give me more room. It was more about the room for the things, not about appearance. It's heavy duty. Let me see if I need to trim this up. Yeah, see where it cut through the edge of that lace? It gives it all shaggy. It's just easier to do your grommet if you don't have a bunch of shaggy fabric all caught up in there. And for the long haul, the less you have in the way, the better. And I could have centered these, but like I said, I know that my planners are not going to be nowhere near as long as my journal part, or as wide. So it was more about accommodating the width of my journal. Where if you were doing a standard journal, all three of your signatures most usually would be the same size. You know, if you'd had, 12 pages and or how many ever pages, then it tends to stay the same. So with these being different sizes, you just sort of have to, I would rather accommodate the size and have it all fit nicely, especially since, the grommets are going to be covered up anyway, than have them even and it doesn't fit correctly. Okay, now I am using my blue. So I'm going to pull some off here. Give me just a second over here. Okay. So I'm going to pull some of this off. I don't know how much we'll need. Okay. I'm just going to set this to the side for a minute. I'm going to figure that I have to go down once, twice, let's see, is that 3? So we got to go down once in the middle, twice in the middle, 3 times in the middle. Then you figure I have to go across here some. Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of cut this off here, which it probably will be too long, but we can trim it down. That doesn't bother me. Okay, so figure out what side's the right side, what side's the wrong side. Okay, so in just a second, I'm going to try to see if I can. I have really thin thread. You may have to, a really thin ribbon, so I think I can get it through here, but if you have really wide ribbon, you may have to use like a yarn needle. I'm just going to catch the very edge on it, just enough because I think it's easier if you have a needle. It just saves you some time and effort. I mean, it balks up here, but like I said, this is pretty thin. So I'm going to go through the middle. And what I like to do is I just grab both ends and sort of find the middle and take it at that. Then I'm going to flip it over. And I like mine to be, I want it to lay flat and look really nice. So that's why I like from this side. If you're just using like binding string or elastic where it's all the same, then it doesn't really matter if it twists on you. But with ribbon, I like to make sure that it, so I personally hand feed it through there pretty much. Okay. Then I'm going to put it at the bottom. And again, I'm not going to pull this completely tight. We are going to tighten it up later, but I want to make sure, see where it twisted like that? I want to make sure that it's not twisted and it stays all nice and neat. If I'm going to twist it, I'm going to do it while it's in the eyelet. And then again, I'm going to go through the center because you can twist it within the eyelet so it lays nice and neat. Like that. See, I just want it to lay nice. And I mean, like, we can pull this up and choke on it later. Well, choke. I didn't mean choke. Oh, anyway. Okay, then we're going to take this back through the center. So if you grab inside and the outside at the same time and pull, you can push it up to the upper half. So you can slide this right through the lower half. I like that. And then again, I'm going to flip it over and twist it around till it lays nice and flat. And you want to make sure you do your twisting. If you need to twist it twist it in the hole where you just pulled it through. See, it's really nice in there like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go next to me. The very hole next. Right like that. And again, I want it to lay nice and neat. So you just take the time to work with it a little bit so it'll look nice. And then you won't have to deal with it so much later. Right like that. So I mean, those look nice to me. Those don't bother me. Okay. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to go through this hole. And again, make sure it lays nice and flat. And see where it's all twisted. I'm just going to take it and glide your hand through it. And again, if you're using cording or something like that, then you don't have to deal with that. And then I'm going to come back through the middle. Right there. And again, if I grab and pull to the side, pull this to the side, I can pull it right next to it, right like that. Then I can take my needle off. Now, I want a little bit more lengthwise on here. So I'm going to go up here. I'm slowly going to feed more through. I know I have a lot of extra over here, so I'm just going to pull up about, 6 inches or so. And then I'm just going to tighten it down as I go. And I'm just going to walk it through. Just like if you were doing a maze, you know, and you needed to guide it, you may have to reflip, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. And you're just going to take it and pull it. You just want to make sure you pull the right one. There we go. And that'll tighten that right up. And a lot of times you won't even have to twist it or anything. It'll be perfectly fine. Okay. Then we should be able to pull right here. There we go. And see, then we'll have pretty much an equal amount of ribbon in the middle. Okay, so we have that. So let's get our journals. I'm going to start with my back, which is going to be a planner. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it up just like that and guide my planner through it. Right like that. Now see, that'll lay right down the middle. And I can fold it closed. And then I'm going to do the next one. Find my middle. Slide it under. And if you remember, our cover was 6 by 9. Your piece of paper is 8.5 inches wide. So you have to sort of, if you're going to use the Traveler's Notebook method, you sort of have to think about that because you can buckle your pages and stuff. I like mine to lay flat within the binding. So it's 9 inches tall, my cover is. I put my grommets in 1/4 inch, which put my grommets at 8.5, which lines up with my paper. So if you put your grommets at 1/4 inch every time, then you need to make sure that your cover is 1/2 inch taller than whatever size the space page is. So if you do a 5 by 7 and it's only 7 inches tall, then your cover needs to be 7.5 so you can accommodate that space. Okay, there's that one in. Now we have the big baby. Now, this is on the end where I have extra space. So I'm pulling that out a little bit because I know this one's really big and bulky. It's not going to just slide under there as easy. So I'm going to pull some out because we can just pull it and tighten it up. Okay, once I get it in there, then I'm going to pull mine back down, tighten it down. And I like lining it up in the middle. So you need to get it centered in the middle. And your pink strings do hang out from the side. So you do there. Now, one thing, I did add the lace, a thing of lace around the bottom of, let me pull up here, around the bottom of my journal. So what I did is on the very dead center of the spine, I cut a slit in the lace, not the top part, but just in the part that hangs down. So when I go and put my binding in like this, it's not, I don't have that bulk of that lace in there just taking up space. Okay, so we have that in there. There we go. So now comes the part where you tighten it up. So what I do is I pretty much, you pretty much use two hands and bind it down. Sort of tighten it down with one hand. Like I know this is the end of my thing. So I'm going to go over here. This is going to be tightened down with this one. Okay, so I know I can pull that tight. So go to your center. Go to your center signature, which is right here. That's where I'm going to pull. I'm going to hold one string with one hand, and I just sort of wrap it around my hand so I can hold it. Okay, then whichever way you're going to do it to tighten it, like this is pretty loose, so I need to tighten it down some. So you have to sort of see where your string is coming from here. Okay. Scissors on me. Flip over onto the back. I'm going to sort of grab up here. Let me see. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm trying to grab my pokey tool here so I can get behind it. Okay. So I can pull that. See how I can pull that out? Hold it. Okay. Now I'm going to flip over to my last signature because that's going to be the side that comes in on. Slide my pokey tool out. Slide it up. So I've got all of that loose right here on my hand. So this ribbon down here, pull. And you just work it around till you tighten it down to where you want it like that. I'm happy with that. That's, see, I can flip that. This one, I can flip it. So I'm holding on to my bottom string. I'm going to go into my journal up here while I'm holding this string in my bottom hand where I've tightened it up. Now this one's not as tight, so I can pull that and it's flipped. So we need to figure out which way we're rotating. Okay, it's flipped up here. Okay, there we go. When it folded, it flipped it. There you go. And I'm going to pull both of them. That's going to tighten it down. And flip back over here into my middle signature. And you don't have to do it within a signature. Like since I'm doing a journal and a thing, I can come up in between them on, beside it. Holding it pretty tight, and I'm going to tighten it down. Hold it. Then I'm going to tie a bow. Now, I like, and this is just my personal preference. I like to double knot that. I know that I can get it out later, but it's going to keep me from accidentally pulling one of these and untying it, which is where I would be concerned. Okay, then let me... So we have these, and I'm going to go ahead and let mine hang out the bottom. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to cut this one where I folded it over in the needle because it makes it sort of wonky. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down a little bit. There we go. Right like that. This can turn to the center so it's not going to take up, too much space in there. Okay, so then grab some trim, and I got a bunch of this blue trim, so it stopped bothering me to use it. It's really, really old, and it's been collecting dust. Okay, so okay, I'm going to cut all of this ribbon on the diagonal because that's just, I don't know, the thing. And I'm just going to pull out, I'm just going to take this. Let me cut this on the diagonal too. I have it loose. Okay, I'm just going to guesstimate about where the middle is. And I'm going to grab this. I'm going to slit it, cut it on the diagonal. So they're both cut on the diagonal at the same time. There we go. Then I'm going to match my ends up. And I like to sort of untwist before I get there. Make sure it's... There we go. Then I'm going to poke from the bottom up. And I'm going to go ahead and try to take these through without a needle. You can. It's not as simple as taking it. It's easier to take it through with a needle. But you can do it. So if somebody says, well, I don't have a needle, or I can't find my needle, I lost my needle. Okay. There we go. Be very careful when you pull through here, because you are pulling through a grommet, and potentially you can pop your grommet out if you're not careful. I've had that happen. If it does, just add another grommet. And this also has threads on it, and the grommet, when it smashes and opens up, it splinters the ring. So sometimes it does catch, but I sort of like it when it gives it more of an old-fashioned feel to it. Okay. And then I'm just going to take the loop at the end, take the strings, pop them through the loop, just like you do just about any type of bow. And then I'm just going to play with it until I get it tightened down, which you may have to help it along here because it likes being silly. There we go. That side's done. Let's go to the other side. And we're going to repeat the same procedure. And see, sometimes, it's random. It depends on the makers of the grommets and how they made them and all. It's silly. Sometimes it goes through perfect, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. And again, I'm going to loop it through, pull my strings through. See, I mean, how much easier was that than the other one? And right like that. Then I'm going to flip my journal over. And yes, I have double strings, which I think are so pretty. It adds so much to a journal. And I'm just going to tighten it down, do my pretty bow. which wasn't so pretty. And there we go. And our journal is complete. So, yep. So there's that. There's the spine, which you see didn't come out near as bad. You don't even notice that I put these closer together to accommodate the planner part. So there's that, and the back, and there's the side. Now that I've got them bound and within here, now I can go through, and if I want to add lace or tabs or anything like that, I have this 1/2 inch extra that I built into the sides. If you see like this part right here, so I can put anything on there as long as it maintains under that 1/2 inch, and it will still be able to slide into my storage box. The top and the bottoms, they go right up, almost up to the edge. Just about a 1/4 of an inch difference. So, I mean, technically you could have a 1/4 inch hanging out like this. I wouldn't go beyond the lace, but yeah. So this is her right now. We will be building the storage box, the ephemera box, and then some oddball ephemera tags, cards, tucks, pockets, your basics to put in there. But yeah, really think she's pretty. So let me know what you think, guys. You can hear it's my shaker pages on the front cover. So you get lots of noise. And we will do a flip through. Like I said, it's more basic, but when you figure hold on. Okay. We have the base secondary journal. I still have to bind it. It hasn't been bound yet. I still have to bind it, and I'll make sure I reinforce the binding. So we have that will go in our storage box. So far, I mean, I've got other stuff too, but then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6 weeks, and so 66 weeks worth here. The weeks, there is enough notebooks to cover 18 months. So those will go in the storage box, as well as our base journal, which I'll have that examined there. There is a mini shaker pocket. There are book pages that will go in there. Hold on, I'm trying to get down here to everything. You got a flip card pocket. I was trying to find, I have if I can get them all out. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There has to be another one in my box here somewhere because I've lost one. Anyway, I will get it. There's another. There's another one of those because there's 26 pre-decorated pockets ready to go down wherever they need to go. We have quotes that tell about Ellen Montgomery when it was published. Like this says, we first meet Anne when Matthew Cuthbert goes to the train station to pick up an orphaned boy and he expects is coming to help him on his farm. He finds instead the 11-year-old girl sent by mistake from Hopetown Asylum. On the drive home, Anne's pent-up thoughts and feelings spill out. Along with Matthew, we are caught in the spell of Anne's unique voice, which I thought was just perfect. But there's some different little quotes and stuff in there. There is, okay, I'm not digging through all this box. There's ephemera, all kinds of ephemera tags and tucks and bookmarks, paper clips, and everything that will go into our ephemera box. So there will be plenty of stuff in there. So when we get ready to decorate, ribbon, washi, a little bag that will have sequins and confetti that matches this in case you want to use it for something else, or if you want to sew it onto a tag or glue it onto a tag. So yeah, they're lace. I'm trying to think of anything else. So yeah, anything you can think of to build ephemera that goes with this kit. Fussy cuts, all of that. So there will be a very nice little hefty ephemera box that will be attached to our storage box that'll go along with it. So it'll be a really nice set. Yes. So, and this one will actually be going into my Etsy shop. And then I have my alternate one, which is like my mock-up, which looks just like this, but it's a mock-up. I'll be keeping it. But yeah. So yes, this will be going into my Etsy shop, the complete set and kit when it is finished, for those who wanted to know, because I've had some people asking. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, tell me what you think. And remember, Purple Paper Passion Kit will be starting July 1st, and we will be doing an altered folder lapbook journal. So if you want to get on that, make sure you hit the Etsy shop, grab the Purple Paper Passion. I will be, let's see, today, I will be putting it on sale at noon on the 22nd. So actually be the day this is recorded. You'll see this after that. But so it doesn't matter. But it will currently be on sale through July 1st. From the 22nd through July 1st. So make sure you get that if you want to create along with us. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.